I hope you all have been having a good week. I'm going to start this video off talking about where my mother and I stood in our relationship. So this video will not be a continuation from the last video. I'm going to talk about real time and where I'm at and everything that I'm involved with on the next coming videos. But this video, I'm going to kind of hit on the relationship with my mother and I. So backing up prior to where I was in New York, moving to New York until right now. So hopefully I can condense all of that into this one video because I don't want a part 1 and part 2 on this. So this video may be a little long. I'm going to try and squeeze everything in. Prior to me leaving for New York, when I ended my lease where I was staying, before I moved to New York, I stated in the previous video, I had moved in with my mother to kind of save up before I left for New York. During that time, my relationship with my mother was, it was okay. I always try and keep my distance, even right now. So, because whenever I am around my mother, if we have conversations, it always ends up in an argument, or it's always some type of disagreement. Always, it never fails. So, and it doesn't matter if I'm around my sisters and her. If that's the case, then we're all getting into it with her. So I could be by myself and get into it with her, or if we're all together, we'll all get into it. One of us will get into it. It's just always some type of drama. So with that being said, I always try to keep my distance. I would go over there and visit, but I was the type to where I always kind of kept it cordial. I knew what buttons not to push, and I set the boundaries there. My mother, like I said, you guys already kind of know if you've already seen the previous videos. You already know what she's about, how she moves. So she's very controlling. She likes to control every aspect of everybody's life. She always feels like she should know everything that's going on in everybody's life. So with my oldest daughter, her first grandchild, she built this connection with her to where it was like she treated her as her own, but also much better or very different. And with any grandparent, the dynamic changes, right? From your own child to your grandchild. I understand that completely. But it was almost as if she expected my oldest daughter to be like her best friend. And she did treat her very different than all the other grandkids. My twin sister has 2 girls. My little sister has 2 sons and a daughter. So out of all the grandchildren, my mother kept up with my oldest daughter. So and this could be, I'm not saying anything that hasn't been stated before by my sisters. They complained about it, and I've complained about it because I have 2 younger daughters as well, and she doesn't treat them the way she treats my oldest daughter. All the other grandkids will get a phone call here or there from my mom, and that's about it. Sometimes not even a phone call. She doesn't even check up on them. She doesn't call them. When she thinks about them, she will, but most of the time she doesn't. With my oldest daughter, she will contact her daily, nonstop. And my daughter has complained to me about it. She's so afraid to tell my mother. And in a way, I'm looking at my younger self when I look at my daughter. so afraid and tiptoeing around her, because if you make a move that my mother doesn't like, she's going to throw a fit. So my oldest daughter acts completely like me as when I was her age. And it upsets me to look at that, because I know the damage that she's already done to my oldest daughter with the way she acts and with what she does. So growing up, my oldest daughter, she had this relationship with my mom. As she got older into teenage years, she started to see and understand why I treated my mother and acted a certain way around my mother. She would mention it and she'd say, Grandma always does this. Why does she always do this? And I was literally like, do you see it? I'm going to tell you about, your grandmother and how and what she does, what I've experienced. And I did. And I always told my oldest daughter to literally kind of not fend for herself, but stand up for herself. And I know it's very hard, because I remember myself at that age. And it's easier said than done. When you are literally controlled and manipulated by a person that is relative to you and that you love, it's hard to maneuver in a way that you want to, without upsetting, not wanting to upset that person, and knowing that you will. So you just do, or you move the way they want you to move. And that's basically what my oldest daughter had done and was doing. So saying that to say, when my daughter hit the teenage years, of course they're teenagers now. They don't want to be around grandma. They don't want to be around their parents like that. And my mom was upset about it. She was upset that, she doesn't get these phone calls anymore from my oldest daughter. She calls her, my oldest daughter doesn't pick up the phone. She hated it. She would literally call my daughter and have attitudes with her, telling her why doesn't she get the phone calls anymore. She would tell her, hey, you don't talk to me the way you used to. What's going on? And that kind of annoyed my oldest daughter. She didn't want to be up under grandma all the time. And, I just reassured her and told her, just do you. Don't let her make you feel a certain type of way because you forget or don't want to do something. So my mom did, she would dish out money like how she would do us. But the thing is, when she does these type of things, she holds them over your head. So she's doing this with intentions of, I'm going to give you this because I want you to do this, or I expect you to act a certain way, or I expect you to do this. So she started doing that a lot with my oldest daughter, which she's done to me and my sisters our entire life. So I already knew the game. And I would tell my daughter this. I would say, hey, if you let grandma pay for something, she's going to do this. This is what's going to happen if you don't do this. She's going to throw this back in your face. I'm just going to let you know up front. So if you want to take anything from her, just know that, it's going to come with something else. So my daughter knew this from the get-go, but she still, took money. She still did all this stuff from my mom. So by the time my daughter, was in her senior year of high school, almost graduating, she was seeing a guy that my mother didn't like. And she also, once she's finished, high school, she went to college. And my oldest daughter was still accepting stuff from my mother. And it got to a point to where when my oldest daughter did something that my mom didn't like, or my mom found out she was still talking to this guy that she didn't like her to talk to, she would call her and talk to her crazy. And I'm saying just things like telling her what to do. You should be doing this. You should be doing that. You need to think about school first, which is, we all know. But it was to the point to where right now, at that time, she was like, 19, about to be 20, and she's still doing this. And my daughter was getting upset about it because she's like, she's not my mother. And she was tired of her treating her like she was her mother. So before I left for New York, I moved in with my mother. Me and my oldest daughter moved in with my mother because I was going to save some money to move to New York. And then after I moved, my oldest daughter, the plan was that my mom didn't know about. The plan was my oldest daughter was going to move in with her father. And she didn't want to stay there with my mom, her grandmother. She didn't want to stay there with her. So I told her, she can always live with her father. So that's what she wanted to do. So as we're there, before I moved to New York, a big thing happened with my mother and my daughter. I can't even remember what happened. I don't know if it was this guy that she was seeing, my daughter was seeing, or no, it was something about my daughter not wanting to do what she wanted to do in school. She wanted to switch up what she wanted to go to school for. That's what it was. And I'm always the woman, the parent that always says, you do what you feel like you want to do. I'm not here to tell you what you need to do. As a parent, I don't feel like that's my job. My job is to help you navigate through life. My job is to help you and stand behind you and support you with whatever you want to do in life. And I tell my children this all the time. I am not here to tell you what to do. I'm not forcing anything on you. What you want to do is what you want to do. So tell me what you want to do. And this is what I told my oldest daughter. My mom, not so much. She's going to tell you what to do and you better do it. That's how she is. So this is how she went about her relationship with my oldest daughter. So my oldest daughter came and told me that she didn't want to do this in school. She wanted to do something else. I was like, go ahead. I don't care what you do as long as you're happy doing it. She told my mom, and my mom threw a fit. So I'm in the kitchen at my mom's house. My daughter's in the living room, and my mom is literally screaming at my daughter, telling her, she's not going to give her any more money for this and this and that. She feels what she feels like she wants to do is not going to bring her, is not realistic. It's not going to bring her in any money. All this stuff, just downing everything that my daughter wants to do in life. And she's telling her that's not realistic. She needs to be smart. She needs to go to school for this and this and that. That's going to bring her money. My daughter is so upset. And like I said before, she reminds me of myself at that age. Because at that age, you're so afraid to speak up for yourself and to go against what what they're telling you. And she just got so upset. My daughter starts screaming at her and crying. And I said, I looked at my daughter and my mom was standing right there. And I said, I'm just going to tell you my daughter's name. So I was like, Mariah. I said, you see what she does? And my mom's standing right there. I said, you see what she does? I told you this is what she's going to do. You keep accepting money from her. You keep doing this and this and this for her and what she wants you to do. She's going to expect you to do this. I warned you and I told you time and time again. You keep doing this, she's going to throw it in your face and threaten you of what she's not going to do for you anymore. This is how I was raised. I know this. So my daughter's crying. I said, stop crying. You want to do what you want to do what you want to do. She has no say-so over your life. She can sit here and talk all this smack all she wants to. Let her keep doing it. So my mom's mad because I'm saying this in front of her, but I don't care. At this point, I don't care. I'm an adult. You can tell me to get out if you want. I'll happily walk out. But I'm telling my daughter in front of her, I'm like, stop taking things from her. Because what she's going to do is control you with it. This is what she does. This is her MO. I know. I'm 30-something years old. I was born and raised under this toxicity. I understand this. And I'm trying to warn you of it. So from this day on, quit taking the money from her. Quit doing anything for her. Quit taking stuff from her. It doesn't matter if it's money or anything. Quit taking taking stuff from her because she's going to throw it in your face and make you feel so bad that she's not going to give anything to you anymore, and then you're going to have to fold and do what she says. This is how she works. So my mom's like, I don't do that. I'm like, yes, you do. And I'm not going back and forth with you. Yes, you do. So this was all before I left New York. I leave for New York. My daughter goes back to live with her father, which was a big thing too. My mom was upset that Mariah didn't want to stay with her and live with her. And, you know, my mom doesn't really like my ex-husband, so she has a thing, and she always talks smack, so she didn't want my daughter going to live over there with him, but, you know, it's her father, so I said she's going over there. So that's a little color on how my oldest daughter was already kind of affected by the way my mother does things. So when I left for New York, you know, my mother and my relationship was still, like I said, it's distant. It's very, she'll text me stuff. When I was in New York, I was texting her pictures of New York because, you know, that's where she's from. So I'm taking pictures and sending it to her. I would call on the snow days and let her look at the snow and stuff. But I kept it real short and sweet. She didn't know anything about my life, so I don't tell her, I don't talk to her like that. So she didn't know what was going on. I kind of told her a little bit about work life, and that's about it. But anything deeper than that, no. I really kept it very surface level. So one instance happened. I think it was when Trump got in. I don't know if it was I can't remember if it was whether he got impeached or what was going on. I can't remember. I just know it had something to do with Trump. So my mom had a group chat going with me and my two sisters. And we would throw stuff in that group chat, just, you know, little memes or talking about certain things in that group chat. When this thing happened, which I can't remember what it was had something to do with Trump, my response was, oh, that's why I'm going to leave the States or something like that. Something along those lines. And I said, oh yeah, I know, I don't know if I said I want to go to Africa or something like that. My mom responds back with her snide little comments like she always does. Oh, y'all always trying to leave the States, or y'all thinking about leaving the States, they got it much worse than the United States. You go over to them impoverished countries and they don't have nothing, or something along those stupid lines. So, of course, me. I replied back, like, you don't even know what you're talking about, you know. Stop listening to media and these stupid little infomercials and these commercials on TV showing you a poor country, okay? Because these countries are rich and they don't have some of the stuff that we're going through right now. So my mom responds back, because she's mad at my response, something like, you don't know nothing, and you always talk like you know, or something about like I was talking high, like I'm high and mighty, or I talk as if I'm not, I don't know if it was like inferior or like I'm a child to her, like she's the adult, something like along those lines. And I respond back like, you know, I do, and I can back this up with information. Like, you just talk out your ass. You always talk out your ass, and you have no proof, no backup of nothing of what you say. And I'm gonna be very real with you guys. I'm gonna tell you how I am. You know, I'm not gonna hide the fact that I'm. When stuff like this happens, I admit I'm very disrespectful when it comes to stuff like this, because first, I don't like the way you're speaking to me. Second, I don't like when you're trying to tell me something and your IQ is like below zero. So I get really upset. So I kind of responded with that type of energy. You know, you know stuff and you're not smart. So don't sit up here and try and tell me something that you think you know and you have no clue about. So she got really pissed when I said that. So she cut us back and she starts throwing out stuff like, oh, that's why you're not no mother. You're not no mother. You left your kid. You abandoned your kids. You ain't no mother, or something like that along the lines of, I'm not a mother. I'm not a good mother. All this stuff. So that triggered the hell out of me. And so I went hard. Like, I literally just ripped her a new one. On text, and my sisters are watching this back and forth, and my sisters are calling me at this point, talking about what is wrong with her, and I'm like, at this point, let her keep going, because I'm gonna shut this shit down now. So, like, I'm in this energy, so I'm texting her, about this whole thing. Oh, I'm not a good mother. Coming from the mother of the fucking year, that's what I'm thinking. Coming from the mother that did such a good job with her children, that did such a good job raising her children, somebody who literally just thinks she's fucking white, I'm typing this, right? I can't even tell you everything I said, but I literally was like, and I went in on my grandmother, I kind of hit it where it hurt. So I'm like, that's why your mother was sleeping with Massa, you know what I'm saying? That's why she was a bed wench. So I'm going on and on and on. I'm like, that's why your fucking father didn't want you, because he was a white man. You think he wants some black kids? He didn't want no black kids. He was ashamed of you. That's what I'm writing, because I'm heated and I'm seeing red. So, after I sent it, I blocked her, because I'm like, I don't want nothing else from you. And this is while I'm in New York, I don't want nothing else from you. So, after a couple, I didn't hear from my mom after I sent that text for like a couple of weeks. And she was calling my daughter, asking her if she had heard from me, when is your mother going to speak to me? Like, she's calling my daughter and involving her and stuff like this. So my daughter's calling me, telling me this stuff, and I'm like, don't even talk to her. Like, don't talk to her about me. If she wants to be a grown up, to try and be a grown up right now, then she can. But I'm sick of her acting like a 2-year-old child. Like, my entire life, she's acted like a freaking kid the entire time. I unblocked her, but I didn't contact her. I unblocked her. And I think one day she did try and call and it went through. And I picked up and she apologized. She said, her way of apologizing. So are we going to let this get in the way of us? Is basically what she said. So I'm like, no, we're good. I'm good. I basically told her I was good. So after that, like I said, it's, little texts here and there. Now that I know that that's what she was really thinking, I kept my distance. I like to know that about people, so I kept my distance. So after that happened, I'm going back and forth to Houston to visit my girls. So every time I would go to Houston, I would stay with her, or I'd find another place to stay. But most of the time, I did stay with her. For the week or so that I was there to visit my girls. So the last time I was at her house before I left New York, this was in 2020, was it 2021? It was either 2020, the end of 2020, or it was the beginning of 2021. It was. So it was like January. Yeah, I think it was January because I went for my daughter's birthday. So I was there the beginning of 2021, staying with her. I was working remotely as well, so I brought my laptop and I'm working from her house. And this is very, what I'm going to tell you was very petty, but that's how she is. That's who she is, Miss Petty. But so I'm working from the house, her house. And my girls were there, and they wanted to go get their nails done. But, it was around 4 or something. I'm still working. So my mom, at this point in time, she is retired. She took an early retirement, so she was doing nothing. And she would just, she was laying in the bed. So I told them to go ask their grandma if she would go take you to get their nails done while I'm still working. So they do that. Of course, my mom says, no, just wait till later or something like that until, Now, and I said, okay, well, if it's a no, how about I just, take them really quickly in your car? And she's like, no, I can drop you all off at the nail shop and I'll come pick you up. So that's what we did. I go to the nail shop. After we're done with the nail shop, my mom I call my mom, she comes to pick us up. So as she's picking us up, I'm in the front seat. My daughters are in the back seat. And meanwhile, you guys, just to give you some color of what's going on, like I said, it's the beginning of 2021, so I'm already going through the crap that I'm going through with him that I'm talking to in New York. So all of this is happening at the same time. My emotions are everywhere. My mom doesn't know what's going on. So just to give you a little color before I get into this little dialogue here of why I did and said what I said. So my mom comes to pick us up from the nail shop. They want to go get something to eat, so my mom's going to go get them to go get something to eat real quick before we head back to the house. So as we're driving there, my mom is asking them, ooh, let me see your nails. So they're showing them their nails, and she's like, pretty, what did you use on your nails? Did you get, what type of nails did you get? So they're going back and forth. They're trying to tell her what nails, and these are little girls, so I didn't think they knew what type of nails they got. So I'm trying to help them along answering the question for her. And I'm like, I think Fallon got this on her nails, and then my mom just says, oh no, it's not that. You got something else, right, Fallon? And Fallon's like, she doesn't know. She just knows that she dipped her nails in something. And my mom's like, yeah, you got this. And I'm like, no, I think she got this because, I was there and I seen them do it. And my mom's like, but that's not usually what they do. So she's arguing with me about the nail stuff. This is how it starts. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm just letting you know, it wasn't that, it was this. And my mom's like, no, it was this. And she's going back and forth saying this. And I'm like, okay, well, I've never seen it done that way, so I don't know. And then as we're saying that, she's like, well, I'm just telling you it is done that way. And I'm like, okay, calm down. Like, calm down. I don't care. I don't care at this point. And so as I'm saying that, she's like, Tiffany, quit talking to me like that. And I'm like, well, you quit talking to me like that. Stop trying to say like you're right on something and you weren't even there. So we're pulling up to the drive-thru of this fast food place. I'm thinking it's done, and my mom brings it up again, and she's like, well, they usually do this here in Houston. I'm like, okay, well, I've never seen it done since the time I've been in New York and going to do my nails. I've never seen what you're talking about done there, so I don't know. And she's like, well, I'm telling you, they do it here. I'm like, okay, but why are we still talking about this? Like, why are we talking about this? I'm done talking about it. Like, completely done. So she's saying, well, I don't like how you're talking. I'm like, I don't like how you can't just be quiet and shut up. Like, I don't understand why you keep talking. That's how I was in the car. And the guy at the drive-thru was thinking we were talking to him. So he's looking like, and my mom was like, oh, excuse her. She's talking to me. So he's giving us the food. She's still going because she's like, stop telling me to be quiet. I'm like, I'm done hearing it from you. I'm done hearing your mouth move. I am done. So let's all be quiet. Let's be quiet. So she's like, no, you be quiet. You're disrespectful. And I'm like, no, you don't know how to shut up. That's just this. And I don't know how else to put it. I'm so fed up at this point that I am done with everything. Like, all I want to do is get me home and get me out of this damn car. That's all I wanted. So we're driving back to the house. She's still upset at what I said. And she's saying, girl, she's talking to my girls in the back. You see, this is why you don't listen to your mother. Don't listen to your mother. Don't listen how she speaks. And I'm like, why don't you shut up? Like, why don't you shut the hell up talking to my children? Just be quiet and go home. At this point, I am saying that. Like, I'm so done. I'm to the point of my boiling point at this point. And she's like, you shut up, Tiffany. And she's telling me to shut up in the car. And I'm done. I've had it. I was like, you shut up and take me home. Take us all home right now. So as I'm doing this, she's sitting there and you can see her contemplating and thinking. This woman out of nowhere says, that's why you don't make what you're making. She didn't believe that I was making six figures when I told them I hit six figures in 2020. She said, that's why you don't make six figures, whatever, because me and my husband looked at what you probably make online because we saw that you couldn't because you got a stimulus check or something like that. And I said, what are you talking about? I said, I got my promotion and my six figures in 2020. That stimulus was based off of 2018 or 2019 stimulus. Fucking like that salary. I wasn't making six figures in 2019. My base salary was just enough to get the stimulus. I'm like, so what are you talking? Why are you even bringing that up? Why would you think I would lie to you about something like that? That's your you see, now that I see back, that's her projection of jealousy. And this is what I was trying to tell you guys before in the last videos, but I didn't know if I didn't want you guys to think I was saying that just to be saying that. She's telling me, oh, that's why you don't make six figures. And I'm like, you don't even know nothing that's coming out of your fucking mouth right now. I said, you are stupid. I said, you're so stupid, it's embarrassing. I'm like, drive this fucking car home so I can get out of the damn car right the hell now. I'm like, you're an idiot. I said, I can't even believe how stupid you sound, how stupid you are. It's embarrassing. Like, get me up out of here. And I'm making sure she understands it and feels it because I wanted her to feel it. That's how bad it was. She had pissed me off to the point of no return at that point. And I'm screaming this at the top. I'm being very quiet for you guys, but I'm screaming this at the top of my lungs in this car. I'm like, you're an idiot and you're stupid. Your IQ is like negative fucking 0. Like, you're so jealous of the fact that I am where I am in my career and everything else that you would never be able to even get there in this lifetime. That you would never be able to get there in this lifetime because, first of all, you don't have what I have. You don't have what I have. So I am livid. Like, I am so livid. And she's like trying to yell over me and she's trying to tell my daughters, like, you see how your mother is? You see how your mother is? I'm like, typical narcissist. Like, typical fucking narcissist. You expect for yourself to respond in a way and don't respect anybody else to respond back. No, she didn't expect me to respond the way I did, but I was so fed up with life and everything that was going on in my life, I was going to let anyone and everyone have it. And so that's where I wanted to give you the kind of background. So my daughters are literally sitting in the back seat, like, stunned. They're so upset at my mom at this point. And I'm yelling. I'm yelling to the point where I'm losing my voice yelling. So my mom pulls into the neighborhood. This is all happening while we're driving to the house. We're pulling into, and I'm still yelling because she's like trying to brake as she's every time she's talking, she's braking and I'm like, step on the fucking gas and get me home now. Like, I'm trying to get out this car. So, I'm yelling. She finally pulls up into the driveway. I jump out that car. I get the girl. I say, pack up your shit and we're leaving this damn house tonight. We're not staying here today. So like I'm screaming in the driveway. I'm walking into the house. My little sister's there with her kids. I walk into the house. My nieces and nephews are running because they hear me. They're going to tell their mom, my sister, what's going on. My little sister jumps up because she hears what's going on, and I'm yelling at her. I'm like, get your shit. I said, you're taking me out of here. We're going to find a hotel. I said, they're packing their shit. Get me the fuck out this house. So my sister is like, what is going on? And I'm like, I will tell you later, but this woman is batshit fucking crazy. I said, she's a straight up idiot. I said, and you know what really got me going? I said, she just said I don't make what I make at my job. And my sister's like, why would she say that? I'm like, 'cause she's a jealous whore. And I'm literally going at it. Like I said, she's a jealous whore. And I'm tired. Like, I'm tired. I wipe my hands of this fucking shit. Like, I'm done. I'm done trying to be quiet and lay low and please my way through shit. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm done. I'm flat out done. So at this point, I'm packing everybody's stuff up. I get my laptop. I'm going on to my company website where I go and get all my benefits and stuff, and I pull up the screen where my salary is at, and I flash it open. My mom's standing by the doorway, and I flash it open for my sister to see, and I said, read that out loud. What does that say? So my sister's looking. I said, does that not say I make six figures? And she's like, and I shut it. And I look at my mom, I'm like, out my way. Like, get out of my way. I'm done talking to you. I don't want to see you. I don't want nothing to do with you at this point. So I get my girls. My sister takes us to a hotel up the street. I stay there for the remainder of my stay. I take the girls back to their father. And I get on my flight back to New York. And that was January 2021. I get back to New York, of course. Y'all know what happens after that with him. All that stuff happens. That happened with my mom in January 2021. All of February, I hadn't heard from my mother. March rolls around. And, like I said, I was going through all this stuff with him, and I had picked up meditation. I had picked up a lot of things, and I was going through a lot emotionally with myself, with him leaving and me just being alone and being with myself. That throughout that period of time, from February to March, when I was in this mental state of rock bottom, basically, I did text my mother in March of 2021, and I apologized, and I said, I'm sorry for the way I acted and for what I said. That's basically what I kept it short and simple. I knew it was something that I had to do, not only for myself, but I knew it was the right thing to do. Just because I do, I follow Torah, and it bothered me that I did act the way I did. It did. And anyone who knows me knows I am not the apologetic type. So it took a lot for me to break down and to apologize, and I did. She replied back saying, okay, she didn't know what was going on. She knows that she was asking, was there more to the story, because she didn't understand what went wrong, what happened. So I just basically told her, no, we're good. There's nothing more. So when I moved to New York, I didn't tell her. When I think back and look back on this, though, even though I said that my move to New York was for him and for a better job, for better career opportunities, one of the major things was to get away from her. I wanted to be so far away from her physically that, I still do, which is why I chose Georgia. Texas was never back on the table for me to move back to Texas. I didn't want to be anywhere near her. Nor do I. I don't, for me to be in a good space mentally and emotionally, I cannot be near her. Visits, okay, but to live in the same vicinity, I choose not to. So when I moved to Georgia, I only told my sisters, and I didn't tell my mother. My mom didn't find out that I moved to Georgia till I was already in Georgia for about, I don't know if it was 2 or 3 weeks. She found out, I think because of one of my girls, either she FaceTimed them or something like that. And she found out that they were in Georgia, so she found that I was in Georgia, and that's when I told her. She called me. She asked why I didn't tell her I was moving to Georgia and what happened. Why did I move from New York? I didn't tell her anything. I just told her, it was a time for a change, and I literally did want my girls back in the same household with me. And I figured Georgia was a good place to start, so that's what I told her. So that's where my relationship is at right now with her. To this day, right now, I don't speak to her really. It's text messages. She'll send me little website things on text messages, but it's never a conversation. But yeah, so because when I do speak to her, it's always about somebody else. So she's talking about someone, or she's talking about, something that I don't care to talk about. So I keep my distance. She still hasn't even seen these videos, actually. And I'm waiting on the day where she is going to see these videos, because I already know that day is near, and I know that I'm going to hear it. She's that type of person. She's very confrontational, so I know. I will definitely let you guys know when she finds out about these videos. She's going to have a lot to say, I know. She's going to be angry, I know. But I'm at peace where I'm at and what I choose to do. I'm at peace with knowing that this is what I wanted to do, and this is what I needed to do for me. So either way it goes, with her being angry or her not being angry, I'm at peace with what I'm doing. I'm at peace with her accepting this or not accepting this. This is me. This is what I'm doing. This is what I choose to do. I have released all strongholds that keep me, binded to that type of energy. I no longer move in ways other people want me to move. I move the way I want to move. I move the way I need to move for me and my children. So, but yeah, so that's that. That's where I'm at right now. And I didn't write anything down. This was all coming off the top of my head. There's a lot more to it with her, but like I said, I'm just giving you guys the bits and pieces, the need to know stuff that I can remember right now. I'll give you guys. So that's where we're at right now, and the next video I will get into real time of what I'm doing right now in my life, where I'm at in my life since I've been here in Georgia. Thank you guys for watching again. Thank you guys for your support, and I hope that you will continue to support me and to continue to watch, and yeah. So like always, I'm sending everyone love and light, and you guys enjoy the rest of the week. Bye.